Hello and welcome to Art Should Be Illegal, a podcast where we decide if art holds any value to society. My name is not Liv. Unfortunately, our glorious first among equals is sick. So the inmates are running the asylum today. My name is Annie, and my pronouns are she and her.
My name is Elissa, and my pronouns are she and they.
So when we decided that we needed to make this filler episode, Elissa promised me that she had a good idea for what we could do. I have no idea what it is. It's something to do with Zubaz.
Yeah. I think it's important to sometimes kind of just focus on the history of things, right?
Okay. I don't. Okay.
I don't know what. Okay. I was wondering about this very thing because you're saying Zubaz.
Yes, that's what I've always heard.
See, I've always heard Zubaz.
I have never heard anyone say Zubaz.
So I did a little research on this. What? Go on.
I've heard it from the people that invented it.
No, I looked up like an interview with the guy that invented it. He said Zubaz, but I'm not going to do that. As far as I can tell, that's some like Pennsylvania bullshit.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Like Zubaz, the character made by the Super Best Friends play.
No, I'm talking about the pants.
What the fuck is Zubaz pants?
Good news. You're going to find out.
Okay, what?
My plan here was to review the history of the Wikipedia page for Zubaz.
Why do they look like that?
I don't know. Because they're bad? Because they came out in 1988?
Why do people wear these? They're hideous.
They're very, very bad. They're terrible clothing. People think they're comfortable and they're good for weightlifting was the original premise.
Okay, they could look like anything and still hold that purpose.
That's right.
Why do they look like why do they look like a zebra is doing drag?
I don't know. They were created by a couple of pro wrestlers.
Why do they look like
all of your questions should probably be answered by that.
Okay, why do they look like the cartilaginous rings of the trachea started just melting?
I assume that's what wrestlers were dressing like in the 80s. I don't know anything about wrestling.
Why do they look like that?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out, though.
God, I don't want to know.
So, okay. Here is the current Wikipedia page for Zubaz.
Okay.
After all, what is a podcast but just reciting Wikipedia pages to people?
It's a brand of short and pants, distinctly patterned with colorful stripes.
So you know the material here. You're familiar with this Wikipedia page.
You just linked it to me.
Yeah, it was primarily marketed as athletic wear for weightlifting and wrestling, but found wider success. In 1988, professional wrestlers Michael Hegstrand and Joseph Laurinaitis brainstormed ideas with Bob Truax and Don Stock. Isn't that exciting? Managers at gyms the pair owned for better quality workout pants. Laurinaitis said, "We need to come up with an idea for pants that we can make for big guys, for leisure, sporting events, working out, or whatever."
Okay, like, yeah, that's a worthwhile endeavor. Having comfortable pants to work out in or to exercise in is great. Why do they look like that?
I don't know. So Truex and Stock developed a comfortably
Zubaz,
baggy pair of shorts with an elastic waistband. So those guys did the actual work. The other two were idea guys.
But Zubaz
is
Zubaz. Okay, it's registered as a trademark in 1989.
Also, the Wikipedia page says that it's pronounced Zubaz, which I despise.
Okay, it's probably because the Super Best Friends play.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. What is this nerd shit?
He's a character invented by the Super Best Friends play.
He's a pair of pants.
He's a pair of pants?
Are you thinking about like a fucking Pokemon or something?
No, that's Zubat, you motherfucker. Zubaz was in fucking Shovel Knight.
I don't remember seeing him there.
Okay. I'm sure if you saw him, you would recognize him. He's been enough indie shit. Okay, they were marketed as a comfortable, functional pair of shorts for weightlifting. That's not shorts!
There are shorts, I think.
Okay, Hegstrand and Laurinaitis, who owned half the company, helped popularize the pants, wearing them while teaming as the Road Warriors on the NWA on TBS. Professional wrestling shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Soon after, distribution with JCPenney and high-profile marketing deals with NFL players such as Dan Marino, people I've never heard of, helped the pants become wildly popular in the United States. What?
I don't know. He was very famous for like 30 years.
Okay, was it a sports thing?
It was a sports thing, but he was like famous outside of sports. You could see him in other places. He would make frequent guest appearances in other places or in advertisements.
No, I doubt it. I never heard of the guy.
Okay.
What was he in since I was alive? Okay, that's the question.
Probably like an infomercial. He did a lot of infomercials in the aughts.
Okay. I'm not watching infomercials when I'm fucking 8 years old, but okay.
I obviously we have led very different lives.
Sure. The Zubaz company sold $100 million worth of products in 1991 alone. What?
Yeah. This shit was huge. People were buying these pants like fucking crazy.
The company slogan is Dare to be Different. The company is named after a nonsensical phrase of excitement that Laurinaitis heard on playgrounds growing up in St. Paul. Okay, I mean, that's a good enough. I think that's actually a great origin for a name of a sportswear company.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that, actually. I just think it looked good. Although Zubaz began as a line of shorts, the brand was extended into long pants, caps, shirts, and diapers.
Hell yes.
Like adult diapers or infant diapers?
I assume they were infant diapers.
Okay. Like you're deadlifting and then, something squeezes out. Just saying. It happens.
They don't currently, I don't think they currently have any diapers. I think they may have had diapers at their peak.
Okay. So they're not at their peak anymore. Good to know. They've
fallen off a bit.
Okay. The pants are tapered at the ankle with the outer part of the leg being longer than the inner part. So it like bows out, makes you look like you have a poop.
They make you look like you got a big ass. They give you space so you can do squats.
Ow. When I do squats, I just wear fucking leggings like a normal person.
Well, you're obviously not a hard lifting man from 1991.
No, I squat low weight, high rep to get that butt. They have an elastic waistband to allow for greater flexibility and movement. The pants were originally created in a zebra print, but later began to be sold in many other prints. I hate it.
That's how you destroy your company. You abandon the zebras.
Regardless of the specific design, Zubaz are almost always bright, flashy. Zubaz are almost always bright, flashy, and often ostentatious. You can be ostentatious and look good. You can have accent pieces in your wardrobe.
Imagine wearing these things with like a fucking suit jacket.
These guys in this photo are wearing them with like graphic tees. And this guy's wearing a graphic tee and a fucking cowboy hat, like an Iron Maiden t-shirt and like one of those Australian cowboy hats. He looks like shit.
Yeah. He looks
by the way, this picture's gotta be the episode art.
Yeah, okay.
The one up here, enthusiast wearing Zubaz brand pants at the 2008 Zubaz fan club barbecue in Crockpot, Oklahoma. That's gotta be it. It's gotta be it.
I like that guy looks like he's dying. It looks like it looks like the photo that the family would send out after his death by misadventure.
This was the moment leading up.
Yeah.
This was the last. This photo was the last stone.
Boys got new Zubaz and were, they got too riled.
Yeah. The photographer who took this photo was the last man to see any of these men alive.
Yes.
Okay. Zubaz designed the uniforms of several arena football leagues. What the fuck is arena football league?
I love having this conversation with somebody that doesn't know anything about sports.
Is this fucking XFL shit? The arena football league.
Arena football.
What is arena football? Why is it inside?
It's indoor football. It is professional indoor football in an arena setting, like indoors. And it is like...
It's 50 yards? It's so small.
Yeah, it's tiny. It is built for just like constant fucking scoring. Like, it's crazy.
Guess what? Constant scoring is the reason that basketball is unwatchable. So... hot take. Come at me, basketball fans.
Football for people with ADHD.
Yeah, come at me, basketball fans. Your sport sucks. Yeah, cool. Somebody scored a basket. That won't happen 100 more times this game. Oh, wait, it will.
150 points this game. Wow, that's so nice.
Wow. It's so exciting when someone scores a basket in basketball because it only happens 100 times a game.
Basketball is really about the points you don't score.
Okay. I fucking hate basketball. It's probably fun to play. Actually, it is fun to play. I've done it a couple times. But it's so boring to watch.
Zubaz designed the uniforms of several Arena Football League teams in the early 90s, including the Tampa Bay Storm and the now defunct New Orleans Knight. However, these designs were considered outlandish and soon replaced. I want to see what they look like.
Are we really just reading a Wikipedia article for this episode?
Listen, this is basically what 90% of podcasts more popular than us are doing.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm terrified. In a 1993 survey, Inside Sports magazine, in a 1993 survey in Inside Sports magazine, Zubaz finished third in the voting for worst things to happen to sports that year. Yeah, I agree. Ahead of it were the retirement of Michael Jordan and the death of wrestler Dino Bravo. The only wrestler that I have ever heard of was Chris Benoit and what happened to him was a tragedy.
God damn it.
What happened to Chris Benoit was a tragedy. CTE is no joke. Like, we got to take care of our high impact athletes.
Is amazing for that to be the only wrestler you've ever heard of, though.
I mean, I've also heard of like The Rock and like Batista. The ones that, went on actually did something worthwhile with their lives.
I would not call anything The Rock is doing worthwhile.
That's true. He's a terrible actor. But Batista's great. And John Cena's at least like a fun guy. He's an okay actor.
He at least, has a sense of humor about himself.
Yeah. Batista's like, give that man an Oscar, but that's neither here nor there. The long pants were the most popular item in the product line. Despite the decline in popularity, fans still sometimes wear Zubaz pants in team colors at professional football games. Okay, why is that line in this Wikipedia article? People wear Zubaz. Okay, sure. Yeah. Zubaz manufactured slider shorts. These shorts had the famous wild pattern at the bottom of the garment, while the rest of the garment displayed the name and logo of the sport team and the Zubaz name.
Yeah.
The original business went bankrupt in 1996, and Truax and Stock bought back the trademark rights. In 2007, Zubaz resurfaced, offering a limited production release of the original classic Zubaz patterns. In 2014, the brand fully resurfaced with a wider selection on its internet storefront. The revived brand opened its first storefront in fashion outlets of Niagara Falls. Oh, okay.
Interesting choice of place to do that.
Yeah, in upstate New York, like equidistant between New York City and Toronto, a place where nobody lives.
Yeah. Oh
wait, some London, Ontario people are gonna come by. Woo!
Oh wait, they explain it here.
Oh.
Zubaz chose New York as its first brick and mortar location because of the brand's particular association with the Buffalo Bills. It's obviously a Buffalo right next to Niagara Falls.
It's true.
As fans of the franchise have consistently been one of the brand's most loyal customer bases. So you learned something new there.
I know one other thing about Buffalo.
What is that?
They eat garbage plates there.
Go on.
It is it's a local delicacy where they take every where they take every artery clogging food you can think of and put it on a single plate. It's very upstate New York.
Yeah, that sounds very upstate New York.
I have a friend that grew up in Rochester. Okay. On July 16th, 2008, the St. Paul Saints independent professional baseball team. What is an independent professional
baseball?
The American Association of Professional Baseball is an independent professional baseball league founded in 2005. What the fuck?
Okay, it's a baseball.
Okay,
baby.
I am gonna show this to one of my colleagues who's obsessed with baseball and see what the fuck she thinks about it.
Is this one of those deals where it's like they play at like high school stadiums and stuff?
I don't know. I'm gonna read more about that on my own time.
They make all their money off an affiliate deal with the fucking MLB or something.
Anyway, the St. Paul Saints wore Zubaz pants during their game against the Sioux City Explorers. Zubaz. Wait, you said Zubaz earlier. Are you just fucking with me? God damn it.
No, I really did watch an interview with the guy where he said Zubaz. However, every other time I've heard somebody say it, it's always been Zubaz.
So why are you... Okay. The bases were also painted in a recognizable Zubaz tiger striped pattern. On the December 6th edition of professional wrestling TV show TNA Impact, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian wrestled the main event in pink and black Zubaz pants. The Russian curling team, curling is the only sport worth watching, wore Zubaz pants in the 2014 Winter Olympics. The Detroit Tigers also wore Zubaz pants in 2017. Minnesota Vikings mascot Victor the Viking usually wears team-colored Zubaz pants. I've seen Victor the Viking.
That's so cool. So, what do you think? It was
pretty lame.
Is that pretty good?
I hate these pants. They're hideous. But I guess that's part of the joke. It's like, here's the thing. Like, straight cis men will act like caring about the way they look is gay and hate it, right?
Yeah.
And they will go so far as to intentionally look terrible so as to seem to themselves to be less gay. And this is why they will never have children. Because I'm not touching that. Not that I can help with the children part. Anyway. I hated that. Thanks, Elissa.
Solutions to this problem, but I don't know that people are going to be on board for it.
What?
Don't worry about it. So do we want to continue with the second part?
What is the second part?
Well, you see, I specifically wanted to review the history of this Wikipedia page and really get into the meat and potatoes of where it's been.
Huh? I don't understand.
There have been something like, how many is it even? Probably like over 100 edits to this wiki page.
Why? Why are people fighting about the wiki page of Zubaz?
Like, it started from humble origins. And doesn't that sound interesting to you?
No. I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm still incredibly stuck on Zubaz making $100 million in 1991 and going defunct by 1996. What the fuck did they do? How did they mismanage the fuck out of this? You're printing money and then 5 years later you're bankrupt.
It's because they were hideous and they only had any success because of a trend.
Okay. But if they had $100 million, they could have just like started making comfortable workout pants that look fine. They don't even have to look good. If they're comfortable and functional, they only have to look fine.
They only need to look adequate. That's all they really need to do.
They can look anything other than what they look like.
They are specifically the most obnoxious possible pattern, and they haven't changed them for the better. In fact, if anything, they might be somewhat worse.
I'm so mad.
There is a funny bit here from the end of the original, because the original article was in 2004.
Okay.
And so they hadn't come back yet. So it says the long pants were the most popular item in the product line. The pants are now regarded as a trend that has ended, and they are referred to as a bad fad by www.badfads.com, which is not in there as a link. It is. I don't know if that website still exists. You gotta believe that I'm going to look that website up. Yes. It is questionable as to whether Zubaz are still being produced, but they can still be bought on the internet from websites such as eBay. The word Zubaz came to mean in your face among sports fans and athletes. Okay, I want to point out, saying that you can purchase this item on eBay in a Wikipedia article is the most pointless thing you could write. Like, of course, it's an object. eBay is a place where you can just sell shit. Of course you can buy it on eBay. Was Wiki just a different place in 2004? I don't know. 2004. I'm trying to remember what I know. I wasn't on the internet in 2004. I don't know. That's fair. I mean, Wiki was pretty bad back then, but I was alive in 2004, but my mom is like a computer systems engineer, and she didn't let me go on the internet without supervision until I was like 15. That's probably and she was right. She was right. I don't have a YouTube channel from when I was that young, and that is a blessing. Cause I would have. I know myself. What the fuck? This one version I'm looking at says, because of the fabric used in the cut of the pants, it has been cited that they are akin to a crock pot for your pork. Oh God. Sorry, I'm just thinking about like 12-year-old Egg Annie's YouTube channel now and what that would have looked like. Oh no. I would have been like cribbing the angry video game nerd. I'm so glad that YouTube wasn't a thing when I was 12. Yeah, but the problem is I would have been cribbing the angry video game nerd in like 2014. No, like 2010. Are you 12? 2010. I do math bad. Annie do math bad. Annie smart. Annie real smart. Annie smart. SMRT. Crockpot for your pork. Yeah, that's disgusting. Moving on. I like that was in this, and the revision I'm looking at is they're reverting an edit by someone that wasn't registered. They kept a crockpot for your pork in there. Why? Why? Okay, what else? What else do you have for me? I don't know. I don't think I have anything else. It looks like for a long time they were mostly just doing revisions of that. Okay. It was quite a while before they removed crockpot for your pork, actually. Anyway, I'm not happy about this. About learning about Zubaz? Or learning about crockpots? Well, I always love a crockpot. But not one for your pork. Yeah, you can make a lot of really great things in a crockpot. I am planning on making a pulled pork in my crockpot on Tuesday because I'm starting a new job on Tuesday, and I'm gonna give myself a little treat. Maybe next time Liv isn't available, we can do an episode about the noble crockpot and
I mean,
find some good recipes.
Yeah, I could just do that off the cuff if you really wanted to, but not right now. I love I love cooking. I love crockpots. Yeah. Although I've
God,
gotten
they were
really
originally
into.
spelled Zubants.
Oh no. See, okay, ignoring that. I've been getting really into using my Dutch oven to make things. It's been really nice. It gives everything a really like even moisture.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Yeah, Dutch ovens are the way
Dan
to go.
and Bob went for the more aggressive spelling of Zubaz, using 2 Z's as a nod to their favorite artist ZZ Top.
The problem with the problem with the Dutch oven though is that like if you want to use one in a modern kitchen, you either need to leave it on the stove or leave it in the oven, and both of those require you to leave that element on. So I personally feel uncomfortable like leaving the house like that. So I only do it if I'm going to be in the home for an extended period of time. Otherwise, I just have to use a crock pot because they're much lower resistance and much lower energy than an oven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never used a Dutch oven.
I've got one. You can try it.
I've never used a pair of Zubaz either.
Yeah. So the thing about Dutch ovens that's really nice, though, I'm not engaging with this anymore. I'm done. I hate this. I hate this so much.
So we need to have a vote.
I hate this more than I hate the clown shit.
Whether the Wikipedia page for Zubaz should be allowed, censored, or banned.
I think the Wikipedia page should be allowed, but Zubaz should be banned.
Okay, that I don't know. I feel like a decision on Zubaz would require a full episode.
I am not doing that.
I think we should
here's the thing.
Censor this page just because I don't think people should be able to go through this revision history and see Crockpot for your pork ever.
We should ban that. We should definitely ban that.
Specifically should be banned.
Here's the problem. If we were ever going to actually like properly review Zubaz pants, that would require me to wear them, and I would simply rather die.
Yeah, that's that is, you'd have to give them money, or you'd have to buy used Zubaz.
No. Wearing someone else's pork crock pot over your pork?
Yes.
Oh. Elissa, why have you done this to me?
Because I didn't want to go a week without an episode, and I didn't want to do a real episode, and I just wanted to do a stupid joke.
I never want to do a real episode without Liv. She's wonderful.
She's so good. She's amazing, and my friend and I love her.
She's the best of us.
Without her, it's not a podcast.
I agree with that.
Please come back to us, Liv.
And on that note, this has been Art Should Be Illegal.
Yes.
As a reminder, the next proper episode will be Alyssa's pick, and it's clown shit.
Yes. We are going to learn very nearly the complete history of clowns.
You know what? Maybe I'm glad that this happened.
Unlike this, actual effort went into that. So please actually listen to the clown episode.
If you listen to this point in this episode, what is wrong with you? I don't want to be here. Why are you here? Is this listenable?
Oh, hell no. This is going to be hell to edit.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Bye.